I don't get broken if I just do my job.
Okay, everybody, we're ready to rock and roll. Welcome to the Monday, June 5th, 2023 review of planning board. Tonight, I'd like to let everybody know that emergency exits are out the door and to the left, the way you came in, or to the right, the end of the hall. There's an AED if needed on the wall across the way. At this time, I'd like everybody to make sure their cell phones or pagers, everybody still has one, are off for the duration of the meeting so that we can get some uninterrupted conversations back and forth there. And with that, I'd like that show.
Steve Law,
Here.
Dave Martin.
Here.
Chris Schleider,
Yes.
James Nesbitt,
Yes.
Mark Ballerstein,
Yes.
Steve Bittner,
Yep.
and Sharon is excused.
Okay, very good. Has everybody had a chance to review the May 1st meeting minutes? And if there's any corrections, deletions, additions, voice them now. If not, please make a motion for approval.
Motion to approve.
Second. Been made and seconded. Roll the votes, please.
Steve Law,
Yeah.
Dave Martin,
Yes.
Chris Schleider,
Yes.
James Nesbitt,
Yes.
Mark Ballerstein,
Abstain.
Steve Bittner.
Okay, very good. We have two public hearings tonight. First item on the agenda is 101 Weiler Road for Eric Peters, for all the Peters subdivision. We have up to be minutes.
Good evening, everyone. Matt Tuttle from Schultz Associates, Engineers and Land Surveyors. It's a two-lot subdivision at 101 Weiler Road. It's essentially a 10-acre parcel we're subdividing into two. Lot 1, which is most of the frontage, is a proposed building lot. The remaining land portion is not proposed for development. Utilities on this are usually the opposite of what we get. We have a well for water, and there's a pure water interceptor sewer that runs through the property that we'll be able to tap into it for sewer. And that's the long and short of it.
Okay, at this time, we'll open it up to public for comment. Is there anybody here tonight that would like to make a comment, raise a concern? If so, please stand up, state your name, and your address for the clerk.
Steve Oz, Town of Hamlin, supervisor. I just got a question. Are you going underneath the road with the sanitary over to the town's manhole then and tap into the county that way?
No, it's on property.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we're gonna do a directional bore under the wetland buffers to minimize the impact and tap right into the.
No, I mean, just last time they had it, they had to board underneath the road.
Yeah, the old one, yeah.
The old
Yeah.
one, but you're going into that, okay.
Yeah.
That was it.
Okay, we will receive any comments from MRB on this?
I am.
Is there anybody else that might have something to say? Eric?
Looking for approval.
Okay.
Move forward.
Also, public portion of this public hearing, and JP.
We had comments back in April, dated April 28th. Schultz Associates has addressed them all, but I'll go over them quickly. We noted there was a large flat area in the front portion of the yard that we suggest a little more grading to promote drainage away. They've done that. We noted the house pad is elevated, roughly 5 feet or so above existing grade, so it'll require quite a bit of fill. And just to note, probably for Cheryl's inspections and foundation design, that the fill is appropriate that's used. I just noted that Pure Waters will need to approve the lateral connection because that's under their jurisdiction. It's not a town intersection of Stewart. I also noted there were several conservation development permits and DEC permits required for the development. And they are showing conservation overlay limits and wetland buffers and similar things. So I think the Conservation Board will have what they need to make recommendations for development permits. And just noted that the remaining lands are going to be difficult to develop, but as Eric suggested, their intention is to keep it undeveloped. So those are my notes, and I thought you were
Okay, very good. Keith?
As I mentioned last month, the silt fence for Lot 1 is in the right of way of Lot 2. To deal with that, should the parcels ever be separated, we're going to need at least a construction easement, temporary construction easement in place. Aside from that, I have nothing to do.
I'll happily slide the silt fence a couple feet to the south and avoid that.
Even better.
Sure.
I have no comments.
Steve? I really don't have any comment. We'd like to ask representative of the Conservation Board, have you had a chance to review this at all, and has there been an application made?
I don't think they've applied for a conservation development permit, but I did an inspection of the property. This sanitary matter is going to go through pretty tough territory. It's quite wooded and obviously a wetland, and I don't know if you've applied for your DEC permit yet.
If they were to apply for a permit, would it be consistent?
Yes.
So just a note on that, that's a great point with the sanitary lateral. That's why we called for it to be directionally forward. So that way a trench wouldn't be dug all the way across the wetland. There would be a receiving pit on each end, and that would be the only disturbance. So that was why we did that.
Okay, at this point in time, I'd like to close the public hearing. Please, I have a question. As far as conservation permit? Okay. Can we rule on that tonight as part of the motion or after the motion? And make the motion conditional of some sort, so we don't have to wait another month to do this? Seems pretty much everyone's been answered and everything.
I'm not aware that application has been made for that permit. Do we have an application in hand?
I don't believe so.
We should have an application.
Can we get an application anywhere here? All right, with that being said, we're gonna need a speaker on this.
Okay. I'll make a motion that the board consider the preliminary and final single lot subdivision for Eric Peters at 101 Wilder Road to be classified as an unlisted action for the purpose of conducting an uncoordinated review under seeker. And the planning board finds that the action has no significant environmental impact and adopts a negative recommendation.
Full vote, please.
Steve Law,
No.
Dave Martin,
Yes.
Rich Schneider,
Yes.
James Nesbitt,
Yes.
Mark Feldstein,
Yes.
Steve Pittman.
Yes. Okay. Further motion?
So we go ahead and do the whole, we'll make a contingent on anything?
Well, we'll make a contingent on issuance of, issuance and approval of the conservation zone. DEC? Do they need DEC also? They do.
You do need a DEC permit, yes.
Yeah. All required for the development here. Have we been contacted, have we been in contact with the DEC?
We've sent it to the DEC, we haven't had a response yet.
No response and no jurisdiction, because you're not disturbing it. really.
Right, well, it'll essentially be a letter of no permit once they, at least in my opinion.
Good question, mark, would be conditional on its issuance of that. Good building.
Mr. Chairman, we could also add to that, they have promised to remove the silk fence.
Yep.
Okay, very good.
All right, so,
Like you said,
the main item I'd like to consider for the preliminary and final single lot subdivision of Eric Peters at 101 Wyland Road. Owner Eric Peters seeking subdivision sketch and site plan review for 101 Wyland Road. The intent is to subdivide the property into two parcels to create one new building lot and one remaining lot. Tax ID number is 021.02-1-10.1. This is in the RM zoning district. There are three conditions. One is that the silt fence will be moved out of lot 2. Second one is that a conservation permit will be obtained from the town, and any necessary approvals from New York State DEC will also be obtained.
the votes, please.
Steve Law,
Yes.
Dave Martin,
Yes.
Chris Schleider,
Yes.
James Nesbitt.
Yes.
Art Felstein.
Yes.
Steve Hitton.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Thanks. See you.
Second public hearing tonight is for Anthony and the Adams Area for 75 Walker Road for a special use permit to operate the sawmill. This is public hearing.
Public hearing, special use permit, Anthony and Adam Zamira for 75 Walker Road. This application is a return special use permit request from 2022. This project was referred to the zoning board of appeals for the issue of fill. A portion of his request is to operate a sawmill on the premises. Also relief from town code 520-11A3C, use of an accessory building for a purpose not specifically listed above, but deemed by the planning board to be similar in nature and compatible with the RVL zone. Tax account number 023.03-2-3.23. This is in the RVL zone.
Okay. This time I'd like to open this meeting up to public comment. Okay. Somebody has some concerns or wishes to be made known. At this time, you can stand up and state your name and address and address those concerns to Mr. Smith.
I'll stand up this time. Steve Cunningham, supervisor. I know this is gonna be a contentious thing. It's not actually, it is a sawmill or a business in an RVL area. My main concern is that we do everything legal. There are people in town that have been against this thing. There are Mr. Adam here that is for it and doing his business. So no matter what your decision is tonight, there could be a lawsuit either way. You know, depending on what happens. So I would like us to go put any special feelings to the side, do everything legal. Also look that maybe if we do this, are we setting precedents of what we do tonight? Somebody else, you know, can come in or whatever, you know, and do anything. So just know that precedents might be set with your decision tonight also, whatever that may be. Our town, I know Keith had to recuse himself from this properly. So I asked our town attorney, Maureen Warner, to stand on this to represent the town for this issue, just because how touchy it could be. Like I said, it is, sawmills according to New York State law is not considered an agricultural or an ag byproduct. What am I trying to say, Chris? an ag business.
operation that's recognized by
Yes.
ag markets as a farming entity in itself.
Yes. So, like I say, I just be careful, our attorney can speak also, she has been brought up to date on this. She has handed out, or the whole board has pamphlets on what she found out by looking at the law. Like I say, I know anyone's gonna get hurt one way or the other, but if we can fall back on the law, at least if something comes of it, then we can fall back on it. Thank you.
Yeah, you wanna give some kind of a rebuttal or give an overview of what you've got to date?
I,
A little bit more in depth.
I don't think you guys understand, it's not like a commercial, like the Hamlin sawmill used to be, it is a much smaller idea, and I know everybody uses the word sawmill, these are portable. I know 5 farmers that have one, it's towable, they're on tires, we're never gonna be a fixed industrial operation, it's very small scale, and I think everyone thinks it's a large operation. It's not, you know, if you guys wanna come see it, you can see it, but it's small, it's something called a wood miser, they're on tires. You can tow it, I can bring it to your house and you can cut wood there. Familiar with that word wood miser? The band sawmill, it's not a circular mill. Circular mill is a sawmill. You know, that is a fixed industrial piece of equipment. These are portable, you know.
Before we get into the nitty gritty and maybe some of the questions that would be raised by people here in the public hearing, can we just address your proposed hours of operation?
Sure. You guys have the packet from the initial application?
I think I want to hear it from you if it's part of the.
Sure. I mean, I'm thinking that, you know, you gotta be a little open-minded here with what you guys think are acceptable hours, you know, to make some noise. The equipment is inside an insulated building also. We insulated the building with 3 inches of foam, and then we decked it. All the equipment is inside. It's not outside. So we kept that under thought. You know, we do have, you know, neighbors, and we do understand that it makes some noise, you know, we don't want to inconvenience anybody. You know, we're lucky enough that we did make enough noise that we got some feedback from the neighbors, and so far, you know, we, like I said, just went around and we talked to them all.
Okay, can I get back to the hours of proposed?
Oh, sure. You know, I'm thinking like 8 to 4:30.
Okay, how many days a week?
5.
Okay, so no operations on Sunday?
No, if we did anything, if we're actually on site, maybe maintenance, you know, that's it, no cutting, nothing like that.
What would be the maximum number of employees if you had to get a rush job out, or if you had a
2 to 3, that's it,
2 to 3?
that's it. Yeah.
If you had log loads come in, where would the sources be? Would they be within the 50-mile limit?
Yes.
Some of your waste products, for example, sawdust.
Sure.
There's other uses for sawdust that are
Sure.
available out, well, you can make available.
Yeah, a lot of this has to do with honestly keeping it clean and dry, you know, so dairy farmers can actually use it. But if you do not keep it dry, you can actually cause an issue with, especially when, actually, Rocky told me about it, he still works at another farm, he was saying it can actually hurt, you know, the hooves of the cows. So he goes, if you keep it dry, it's a marketable product. I wouldn't say you're gonna make a lot of money on it, but every byproduct here, you're trying to do something with. You know, you might get, you know, $10 a yard. So we would definitely like, you know, to use that, because otherwise what are you gonna do with the solids?
Is there any other products, waste stream?
So we take slab wood, it comes off, when you take a circular log and you square it off, we take that, and then we process it down into firewood. And then we sell it, you know, at a discounted rate, because it's not glorified firewood. You know, but besides that, your pallet stock, that you don't assemble anything at that location. Then you have slab wood, and then you have solids.
Okay, air quality issues. There were some issues with burning earlier
Sure.
on that you were aware of.
Sure.
What our air quality issues are. There's no continuous burning.
No. No.
Sound. Has anybody measured the sound of the right of way? Okay, with that, a brief overview of what the operation would be. now, is there any comments, concerns? All right, because we got a lot of other ground we gotta cover here tonight. So feel free to stand up. Your name, your address.
Bill Ryan, 1377 Hamlin Farm Line. And I'm adjacent to the operation, and I can hear some noise, it's usually skid steer or the trucks dropping off, but for the most part, they've been really good, and I don't have any problem.
Anybody else here for this public hearing? Nay, nay, or? Now's your chance. Okay, that being said, I'm gonna close the public portion of this meeting, and we'll go through internal recommendations or concerns, or get some explanations of what we're dealing with here as far as process. Okay, JP.
I think you really covered the engineering things, when we do have sort of quasi-commercial or accessory businesses at a site, like to have at least a rudimentary map that shows where things are going, storage areas, parking areas, driveway circulation, those kind of things. So, I think you need some kind of map to document what you're approving, and that can be pulled up at a later date in case there's concerns about activities.
You have that most current map with you?
I just had the package that was, okay. This is just the listing conditions map? Okay. So again, on something like this, identifying where outdoor storage will be, access locations, things of that nature, just identifying so these don't spread costs or spread from what you're anticipating.
So is this map adequate, or does there need
Well,
to be a map that shows
if
the
there's
outdoor
nothing
storage?
occurring out of doors and there's no outdoor storage,
Well, there is outdoor storage, so.
then, I think you need to identify those things so they don't grow and become something that you want to, the board isn't anticipating. Just documentation, anticipated.
Hey, Maureen,
Yeah. Did everybody get my email this morning with what I wrote up? So, as you can see, there's several uses that are permitted under the special use. This is a residential very low density. And there is a use of an accessory building for the purpose not specified. But if you look at the definition of accessory structure, there needs to be an incidental to a main structure, and this appears to be the main structure. Am I correct? This is the main structure on the property. Again, it's the board's determination of what they'd like to do. Did you have any questions on what I sent to you this morning? Oh, you didn't get it?
It was just handed out.
And if you are going to entertain giving a special use permit, I would make it a renewable special use permit. And I would make it for a year. And I would put very tight conditions on it, especially no activity outside. This says they're timber harvesting. Is there any or trees on the property that they're harvesting?
I think
What trees?
pardon me?
There are no trees up.
There is
So we're not necessarily harvesting there. We're to be harvesting logs from other locations.
So really, this is a manufacturing, they're manufacturing wood or,
We're not making anything,
well, you're
Assembled.
manufacturing the,
just cutting wood.
yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing any assembly at that location.
Some of the rules and regulations you look at as far as the zoning code might need to get some further explanation, okay? Just for folks in the audience, so we get it in the record besides just having the written and legal form. Concern like you brought up is that the primary structure, although in a rural country setting, we seem to see pole barns all over the place, and some have a primary structure and some don't. Some are pre-existing, non-conforming, of which we have had to use a special use permit to have it used in another manner, okay? And there's, one doesn't have anything to do with the other.
This was a pre-existing
But the
non-conforming.
fact is, that we use the special use permit as a form to have some kind of regulated control over what happens on the site, okay? Other than what the original my intention might have been. I don't know what it was, this might have been,
I think it was a stable. This was a stable. It was built for a stable. Which is an allowed use.
There was a lot for it, but we still had it, special use. Are you aware of some of the zoning ordinances for this area, what is allowable, what isn't?
Sure.
This has been a long process. And there's a lot that goes into a board trying to make a recommendation of, okay, but it's things that need to be looked at and compared to other municipalities and what they might have. Okay? Or what other type of operations that happen within the township or in the county, okay, with rural, residential, very low density is one of the reasons why people come out here. And we want to try to keep the agribusiness and comparative industries around the town. We have districts that it's allowed it, that we set. Probably there's, I don't know, how many other farming operations in this town that do cut up their own lumber and make their own
I don't know
pallets.
really, well, he cuts it up there for firewood, you know. So there aren't any others that cut it specifically for pellet wood.
One time they did have pellet factory there.
Well, okay.
Not a factory. But anyways, I took the liberty at a conference to meet with some people from Department of State. Okay. And I asked the one lady from their office who does a lot of review of all the different laws, special use permits, and special regulations. And I sent everybody an email, okay, it was probably 58 pages long, from 7 or 8 other municipalities within the state that have sawmills, including those that were called sawmills but used a wood riser. And there's a lot of special conditions for even a special use permit. One says it had to be on a lot of 10 acres, another one said it had to be on a lot of 5 acres. Okay. They actually limited the horsepower to no more than 80 horsepower. All the cutting, sawing, grinding, or other processing should be conducted in completely enclosed building. Hours of operations, 9 to 5. no Sunday or holiday. Sawmill may employ the operators immediate family plus one or two others during busy times. They had sideline setbacks, roadside setbacks, storage and more storage for logs. Accumulation of waste materials needed to show a plan on how it's been disposed of. Any fuel or anything else like that for your equipment, has some state requirement fuel storages. Access drives to be paid within the right of way. It's just a few. But in most of these cases that we looked at, there was a local law in place. So bear that in mind, that we as a board are inclined to say this is a operation that we want to see continue within the town of Hamlin. And if so, I would suggest the town of Hamlin get a more restrictive zoning ordinance that also addresses sound at right of way. Fit between 50 and 75 decibels, okay? And the OSHA requirements for that is anything over 70 or 75 has to be prolonged, maybe 6 to 8 hours continuous. Then you could have some, if it's not taken care of with air things, air protection and sound deadening things, you could have some damage to your hearing. But most everybody addresses some type of threshold. Those things could be covered with a special use permit requirements. How much, I mean, how high of sound do you think you're getting out of that with your insulation and everything else?
Outside?
Yeah. How about the road?
Can you hear it?
The road.
I never hear the mills running.
I mean, like I said, we keep it inside for a reason. We're not trying to be unpractical. You know?
I know we close the public part of the hearing, but is there anybody in the audience that has experienced sound levels that would be louder than a lawnmower, which is 95 decibels, or a car door slamming, which is something like 55, 56? Is there anybody in here that's experienced that? That's one way of having it if there's an issue. So that being said, what Maureen said, what Steve has said, okay. I guess the next person I talk to, listen to is Cheryl.
I'm gonna recuse myself from this application.
Okay. All right, very good. Steve?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to say, we as a entity, municipality should foster all businesses, anybody here, if at all possible, to struggle to survive in life and pay your bills and do everything. So if somebody wants to go out and make a life for themselves, I think is an admirable thing. What you said, Steve, I'm going to take a different approach there. You mentioned that other people complain, or you heard things about that. There's nobody here for that. Yeah, no offense, but I just dealt with this in another situation. It's hearsay. You can have your opinion, but you cannot state what other people's opinion is. It's not, you just can't. I just got hammered for it in court. You know what I mean? So whatever your opinion is, but if there's nobody here against this, you got the next door neighbor right there, Billy, who lives right next door, has no problem, doesn't hear any noise, he keeps the sawmill inside, it's a miser, it's not a mill. I know exactly what you're running, I've used a miser before. It's just a cut machine to square off. You used to have the sawmill right over on the other part of Hamlin here, you've got another guy operating one right out on Roosevelt Highway. You know, I don't, if you don't have any complaints, or you don't have people who are against it, I'd say, for my take, it's a good thing. Make conditions, make it a yearly thing that he gets inspected, and checked every year, and if there's complaints or problems, then you can revoke the special use permit.
There's other sawing operations in the county too.
But there's tons, people who process firewood, I can walk out of here right now and within 10 minutes find 4 people processing firewood and selling it. And I'll tell you right now, a chainsaw is a lot louder than that knife.
103 decibels depending on the muffler system.
I spent a week on one, so I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, weed whacker's louder than what he does.
Dave?
No, I don't have any issues, no.
Got just one little question, not an issue, just because the weather changes.
Sure.
Uh, How are you gonna get your logs in and out in the winter time?
From the side, is it?
No, but I mean, the tractor trailer load comes in off the highway and comes to a gravel driveway,
Sure.
and does that gravel driveway got foundation enough for
So when we
a
originally,
wheeler load?
when we originally did it, we dug it on 2 feet. There's 3,600 tons of stone over there. Those driveways were established in the right way, and that's where the dirt came from.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why we have it. We compacted it with a road roller, heavy.
The thought behind that is tracking mud out on the highway after the truck leaves.
No truck would ever touch anything except for stone. That's it. And it's compacted, and you're more than enough to go look at it. It's like concrete. We took our time, we spent the money, we did it right. We put Amerified underneath so no mud can come up.
Okay,
It's a pretty established driveway.
so it wasn't the first driveway you built.
No, and it was a little overkill, it was expensive, but we knew that that is a huge opportunity for,
The second thing is your saw, is it electric?
we would like to get an electric, one, so we can buy it,
Yeah.
you know?
But right now, what's it, you running diesel?
One is gas,
Okay.
38 horsepower gas. We're earmuffs, you know?
Is that better than the outside?
Yes.
So does that needs updating? Or-
We prefer to go electric.
Yeah.
The problem is on that street, the closest to the electric, is the Tomlin Road, or all the way down Sweet Walker Road, and I think the last price we got was about 80,000. So,
That's a lot of trees.
there's a lot of trees, there's a lot of trees. You gotta remember, we're not a big business, we're just a couple of guys, and we're just trying
Well, as you
to.
wear out the old stuff and replace the new stuff, just keep that in mind.
We're not trying to be
Yeah.
the biggest, we're trying to just do a little bit for ourselves, and we're not trying to take over the world by any means.
We'd rather talk to you than about you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say that in fine.
I just got one question. Is there any sort of dust vacuum system?
Yes.
And how is that noise controlled?
So the dust vacuum is internal,
Yeah.
and then it removes the sawdust to the outside, but you can't hear it from the outside,
So
because the
there's
motor is
nothing-
inside the building.
Okay.
Again, we tried to think of any opportunities for anyone who have any issue. So the last item that we need to figure out is what to do with the sawdust as in market it. So we just need to
So
keep it
don't have a
track.
2-stroke Hoover motor.
It is electric, it's a 1 horsepower electric motor, you know, it's nothing.
Yeah. That's one- I know those can get the high pitch.
Yeah, if you would just like your woodworking shop, it's very similar, you know.
Steve?
I agree with every point that Steve, but I agree with every point that Steve Bullock made. I think the points are very well. I think that, I appreciate your indulgence, willingness, for your participation in the system.
Okay. Taking all that's been brought up and talked about, do you as a board feel this is complementary to County Halen's desires and concerns? And would it fit in well with residential, very low density zoning district?
that might need to have additions to the local law for these types of operations in the future. Steve?
I think that as in any other thing that, like I said, in my other job and dealing with this, every application takes on its own merits. You wouldn't put this in a neighborhood where there's houses within 100 feet of each other. This is a large sized lot. You have a neighbor that's closest to him that has no issues with it. I think it's a good thing.
Dave? It's a yes or no question. I'd say yes, let it go, and it's a 1 year renewable permit, and if there's any issues within the year, we're gonna hear about it, and we'll deal with it accordingly. I think, let the man start his business and go from there.
Yeah, I'm fine with it, I think with the, especially with the ash board, going in and, we can only, make it work with it, with us, next week. It's a necessity, it's kind of,
Mark? I'm fine with it as well. I think we need to add several special conditions, which I listed some of them here. But the idea that it's a 1 year renewable on inspection is a good one.
Good. Okay, if we're gonna go forward with that, Maureen, do we need to vote on the question I just asked? So this.
Your secret first.
We should be seeking, I'm just saying that we felt this fit in properly.
I think they all just said it did. But I would make sure that you, also, JP's comment that he would like to see a map of where he's gonna be storing things outside would be, one of the conditions that you put on.
So the map that you guys have provided, the logs would stay on gravel. And the only other issue I need to address is the sawdust.
What's the story?
Sawdust. That's it. But other than that, I do not want any logs to be off what I've paved, because if it rains or it snows, it causes an issue. So that's the reason why we did the gravel. So if you can see on your drawing, the gravel, that's to the extent of what we'd like to use, you know?
I think just the other points I was making is, have an idea where the outdoor storage of logs are, outdoor storage of equipment is, parking areas for vehicles. So just,
Sure.
so things tend to morph and we don't have to come back here year after year and talk about a change. That was my only point.
Yeah.
Take it or leave.
Okay. Seeker.
It's unlisted.
Be on this one.
It's unlisted.
We need a motion for seeker.
I'll make a motion that for the special use permit for Anthony and Adam Samara.
There you
Sorry about that. At 75 Walker Road, be considered an unlisted action for the purpose of conducting an uncoordinated review of procedure, and the planning board finds that the action will have no significant environmental impact and adopts a negative declaration.
Or vote, please, sir.
Steve Block,
Yes.
Dave Martin.
Yes.
Bruce Schleider,
Yes.
Jamie Sentvik.
Yes.
Mark Felsheim.
Yes.
Steve Pittman.
Yes.
And then on the main motion for the special use permit, Anthony and Adam Zamara at 75 Walker Road. Okay, so this project will be referred to the zoning board of appeals for the use of a bill, a portion of this request to operate a sawmill on the premise. Premises also relief from the town code 520-11A, 3C, use of accessory building for the purposes not specifically listed above, but denied by the planning board to be similar in nature and compatible with the but deemed by the planning board to be similar in nature and compatible with the RPL zoning tax account number 023.3-2-3.23. This is in the RVL zoning district. And a revised site plan drawing has been submitted. We have several conditions to put on the special use permit. Okay, let me get through the ones I got, and we'll see what we've got there. We have a 1-year term with renewable on inspection by the town. That the hours of operation would be from 8 to 4:30, 5 days a week. It would be an interior operation of a bandsaw mill with a horsepower less than 50 horsepower for the mill. That the owner will control the noise exiting the site by the means he's described. All exterior storage or stockpiling would occur on the stone areas of the site as they exist today.
And vehicles.
And vehicles, yeah, all, yeah, very good. And any dust vacuum system or exhaust from the gas-powered mill would be muffled to minimize any noise leaving the site. And let's see what else you have. Yeah. I guess, and to submit an operations map that simply outlines where different items will be stored. It could be an overlay on the map that you've already submitted, but that would make it clear for everybody. Any other items you want to add?
You just want me to mark, say on the map, like a designated parking spot?
Parking,
Okay.
parking, storage,
Sure.
logs, materials. all
We
that
do want everything in the rear of the property,
Yeah.
nothing stored on the road.
That's where your stone is.
Yeah.
Okay, in addition, the operation of sawmills will meet all standards for, and it will be local, federal, and state for noise and vibration, which are controlled. And adequate loading area shall be provided, and will be shown anyways. Engines shall be turned off during loading and unloading, so there's no additional noise on site or fuels. No storage of timber and lumber material should be allowed in the front of the yard. You've spent a lot of time for screening and lighting, and you've got shields.
Trying to improve the property,
and everything
no.
else. Sawmills, I would, you meet the setback from other properties. Waste products should not be allowed to run off into streams, wetlands, or other water bodies, so that sawdust in the ditch.
Sure.
And, that pretty much is it. All right.
I'll second.
That's great. Would you have any other concerns?
Did we put that everything's gotta be inside?
Yeah.
Interior.
Interior.
Steve?
I'm sorry. You said 5 days a week. Could you just specify Monday
Yeah,
through Friday?
Monday through
Sure.
Friday.
Instead of 5 days a week, that could be Saturday and Sunday too.
Sure.
Yes. Thank you.
Get through the rest.
Sorry to interrupt.
Sure, it was good. Yeah, it was.
Second.
Yeah, second.
Steve Law,
Yes.
Dave Martin.
Yes.
Chris Snyder,
Yes.
James Nesbitt.
Yes.
Mark Fowlerstein.
Yes.
Rick Whitman.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, well, still got a little work to do. Okay.
Yep.
Work with Cheryl and get this stuff taken care of, and, we'll take it from there. We had a very rocky start with it, and, We're just gonna make it better, I hope.
I agree. I agree. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you, everybody.
Next item on the agenda.
Told everybody to get out, Rich.
Maureen, you're welcome to stay.
Oh, I'm okay, thank you.
Thank you for your contribution. Next item is Charles P. Samino, 1730 Apple Hollow Lane.
Good evening. Piece of property that, Smino's bought, a 2-acre parcel that was, off the end of that unapproved, or not approved, unnamed road up Apple Hollow, it's on the north side of Apple Hollow, backs up to, the Gallagher property. They bought it, they want to merge it with their current lot. Make one big piece of parcel, it's gonna be an L-shaped parcel.
Yeah, well, that's pretty close.
Okay, so. These two lots here. That's the,
Yeah, they bought this piece over the summer. They already owned the home mill. Now they're gonna combine these two together. This was a courtesy combination with that one. So that's not one named road, but it's improved up to there. Yeah.
I mean, this here. JP.
No, there's no concern.
Gee, you nailed us some stuff.
Yes, I have no legal concerns. It's a lot merger, nothing's going on. Under secret, it's a tight fit.
Sure.
No concern.
No. Motions. This does not need a public hearing?
Correct.
Secret motion?
I'll make a motion for secret for the application of Charles Smino, owner of Charles P. Smino, seeking property merge, where two parcel number 1, 1730 Apple Hollow Lane as a type 2 action.
Second. Poll the votes, please.
Steve Law,
Yes.
Dave Martin,
Yes.
Rich Schleider,
Yes.
James Nesbitt,
Yes.
Mark Bellerstein.
Yes.
Steve Pittman.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the application for property merge of Charles P. Samino, owner Charles P. Samino, property merge of two parcels, number 1, 1730 Apple Hollow Lane, tax account number 021.03-5-5 and 1732A, tax account number 021.03-2-6.2. This is in an RM zone district. Letter of introduction, property merge application, and site plan fence submitted.
Poll the votes, please.
Steve Law,
Yes.
Dave Martin.
Yes.
Rich Schleider,
Yes.
James Nesbitt.
Yes.
Mark Bellerstein.
Yes.
Steve Pittman.
Yes.
Okay.
Very good, thank you.
Alright. Next item on the agenda is Dan Zerino, and Joseph Heatherly, 530 North Road, single lot subdivision application.
Actually, it's a re-subdivision. This is a prior subdivision you guys approved probably about, maybe 4 months ago. It's on the corner of Morton Road and Monroe, Orleans County Line Road. This particular piece of property is coming out of Lot 1, it's called Lot R1B. It's a 5-acre parcel. It's basically taking up the frontage from the corner exception parcel, going east to the first property that it comes across. I think it's like 500 foot of frontage. It works out to be a little bit over 5 acres to right away.
JP?
They're just creating a lot, it's a legal lot. We often just ask Rich or other surveyors and engineers to just note that it's not approved for building, it's just simply a forming lot.
Do that.
Keith?
No great concerns, certainly. It's creation of a lot, seeker unlisted. I would think we'd be having a public hearing.
No concern.
Make secret now?
No.
No,
We'll wait.
Okay, no public hearing. Did I hear that right?
We did. Need a motion to schedule?
A motion to schedule a public hearing for the single lot subdivision application of Dan Zilberly and Joseph Heberly on 530 Morton Road to occur on
I'll let you know in a second.
July 3rd.
Do we have a meeting in July? Since we're
Yes, we do.
Oh my God,
Yeah, I might
We gotta
accept
start
that.
working, we gotta start working on these holiday meetings.
I know.
They should be triple things.
That's a lot of days.
second.
Move this.
Steve Block,
Yes.
Dave Martin,
Yes.
Rich Slider, Kenny Sensitive,
Yes.
Mark Valentine,
Yes.
Steve Putner.
See you next month.
Okay.
By the way, I won't be here Wednesday.
Yeah, I won't be here, Jonathan. I'm not sure where I'll be. Someplace else.
Does anybody have their
Early bird,
agenda that's new on them?
yeah, we have an addition. And, Cheryl called me about it. Alright. And it's for Dave Balser,
Oh, no.
7882
Okay,
Newport
the
Drive.
date first, okay, date first.
Right?
Hi, I'm John, John Lang, representing Dave and Gwen Balser at 7882 Newport Drive. So they'd like to have lake access stairs put in, which would require a platform 3 feet wide to go over the Gadian rock wall that exists right now. Extend 3 feet past it so that a flight of stairs that would run parallel to the wall would lower and raise to allow them access, seasonal access to the lake. The DEC did submit a letter, as Cheryl knows, of jurisdiction, so we went through that process already as well.
And they do have that in their packet.
It's here.
Just out of see, huh?
I'm sorry?
Coastal erosion issue. It's not in it. So.
No. There's basically a 7-foot vertical drop right now from because of that Gadian wall.
What's the materials gonna be used for construction?
Steel painted, galvanized steel, aluminum for the stair section that will be going down to the beach and coming back up, retracted upward, and composite decking boards for the 3-foot wide platform that's gonna go over the Gadian rocks and then to the retractable stairs.
Anybody have any concerns, JP?
No, I think if they get, you know, everything squared up with their DEC permitting, there's really nothing going, changing, that I see impervious surface wise or drainage wise or anything like that. And sounds like a lot of it's gonna be actually suspended over
Yeah.
the breakwater, so I can't see anything.
Janine?
Is this gonna be year round, I mean, is it gonna be, because there was something in the drawing that said that railings are removed or something?
The railings are removable right now. They have a cable railing system, but the problem is the dogs and the kids cables just separate. Several of the homeowners on that waterfront have that. Apparently the contractor put it in when he did the Gabion wall. So I'm gonna replace that with a 4-inch square galvanized safety railing that's 3 feet high to meet New York State code.
Okay.
But it is removable, I'm sorry, in answer to your question, yes, it is removable.
And so is the stairs are gonna be removed? Are you
They're
going-
bolted in, so yes, they can take them out if they'd like, yeah. The whole thing's removable.
Yeah, because I wondered if it would stay up all winter.
It can, yeah, oh, it can, that's why it's made out of steel and whatnot. You just retract the stairs,
Okay.
and then you can leave it up year round.
I would
Oh, I
suggest-
am aware that, I live on the lake myself, yeah. That's why they're retractable, and they have the 7-foot elevation. What it does is it just picks up some water spray that will freeze on it, but everything's robust enough to retain the weight of itself plus the ice buildup.
And I noticed in the, reading the DEC write-up, I think it was it said may need to contact the Office of General Services.
They mentioned that, I don't know if, did you determine is that required or not?
I don't determine it, we have to call them. to see if they
There was a
want
phone
it.
number that said you may need their, I don't know whether you do or not.
I haven't in the past. I do installations in Niagara County, Orleans County, Niagara River, and I haven't had to do that in the past.
Is the stairs, when they're retracted, how are they above the wall, on top of the wall, or are they?
They'll
floating
be
off to the
parallel in the plane of the Gabion wall. So
Over the
if I'm
water.
standing at the wall, yeah, over the water, it's a 7-foot drop down. When they're retracted, they're gonna be at my feet, basically. Not above the Gabion wall and not above the safety railing. It'd be at my foot level, which would be the top of the Gabion wall.
So when this thing gets coated with ice, it's robust enough to stay there?
Oh, yeah, everything's all steel, galvanized steel.
Keith?
I just made the connection. Mr. Lang is a valued client of mine, so.
Oh boy. Thanks, everyone. Oh, wait a minute, he said value, sorry.
So sadly, I must.
This is getting to be a habit.
Well, I'm trying to consolidate them all.
We either gotta reduce your client base, okay, or simplify our lives.
Embrace poverty, you mean.
Right. Cheryl?
No, I don't. This is very similar to any other item along the lake shore where they've had, even like with patios and ladders that go on.
Lucas, I just wondering, you raised any range from the Pembroke baseball coach thing?
No. My family's all from Rochester and Western New York.
Do you have anybody who works in the town of Greece?
Yeah, Matt Lang, Mark Lang, Richard Lang, yeah.
They all work with me for a lot of years.
No kidding.
Okay, you got it settled.
I got it right.
Please recuse yourself.
Your mother was one of our reception people.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
You can't pass this now.
I get in the same boat with him.
Only moments ago it was being
Do you have any concerns?
No, it's just, basically, it's just, so people can get down to the water, right?
Yes, safely, yeah. There's no means right now. There's a 7-foot vertical drop, you know.
They're not gonna be docking a boat there.
No, it's not capable of that. It's a set of stairs.
It's just so you can get into the water.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah, it's just a set of stairs, 3 feet wide.
okay.
We're going along slide.
Yeah.
So when my sister hears that, she'll want that. Great for the kids.
We are on YouTube.
No comments.
Make a motion, yeah, I'll make a motion then for, conservation corridor development permit here for Dave Belser, 7882 Newco Drive, type 2 negative deck.
Second.
Steve Block,
Yes.
Dave Martin,
Yes.
Chris Schleider,
Recuse myself.
James Nesbitt,
Yes.
Mark Ballerstein.
Yes.
Steve Hinton.
Okay, conservation corridor development permit again for Dave Belser, 7882 Newco Drive. Application of John Lang, owner, David Belser, seeking a conservation corridor development permit to install retractable access stairs and construct a 3-foot wide, 10-foot long platform dock over the water. The DEC no jurisdiction permit has been issued, and Article 15 protection of waters is not needed. This is in an SR zoning district and an LWRP. Tax account 006.07-1-9. Following documents have been submitted for review. DEC letter of no jurisdiction. Conservation corridor development permit application. Color aerial photos and instrument survey.
Second.
Steve Block,
Yes.
Dave Martin,
Yes.
Chris Schleider, James Nesbitt,
Yes.
Mark Ballerstein,
Yes.
Steve Hinton.
Yes.
All set. Okay.
You're all set.
Thank you, everyone.
Give me a call and we'll get this permit taken care of. Okay?
I have the balance with me tonight for it. Can I leave that with you, or should I do
You can
that?
with me.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay, anything for the town board?
Thank you again,
We have
everyone.
one more
Got
application.
another one.
This way.
Thanks so much.
It's on the new, it's on the back of the new one here.
It says new,
No.
it's on the back of the new one.
She's just been sitting with her patiently. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Does anybody need one of these? Jim has it. You need one?
Yeah, I did. We're sharing, I didn't get the new
It says
copy.
new.
Okay.
We have an additional conservation corridor development permit application from Scott Caldarelli for 113 Ross Cove. Scott, you want to speak?
Yeah, I'm just looking to obtain a building permit to remodel an existing structure. Over there, 113 Ross Cove, we're going to run a French drain on the east and south side of the structure, remove the flat roof that's there now, and put a slope roof on it. That's it.
So it's all gonna still be a one-story partial in the ground?
Yes, it won't be level to the ground. It'll be a sloped roof, so the south side of the roof will be almost to ground level, and then it'll come up to a peak that'll return about 5 feet.
So is this section that's here showing dirt going through the middle of these windows? I'm not really following that.
It's a Nope, that is the west elevation. So this is all existing structure, it's an existing foundation, and it has a flat roof on it now. What we're gonna do is remove that flat roof and put a sloped roof on it.
And the second story is an existing as well?
That is not existing, that will be new.
All right, so it will be a two-story when you're done?
Yes, it'll be 1.5 stories.
I just wanted to make sure.
If I may ask, how long did it take you to get responses from the DEC?
Longer than I'd like, about 3 months. So I worked with them, through what they needed me to do, and we got results.
Judy?
Yeah, I mean, I looked at this and it's not changing the footprint at all, just going up. So it's gonna be an improvement in the structure.
JP?
Well, the only thing I heard, I apologize, I don't have the new applicants for today. I heard about a French drain, and I assume that's where you needed DEC
Correct.
input, so if he got his DEC permit for the French drains and you have documentation, location that would suffice for site.
Keith?
No concern.
And I'll also comment that it's consistent with the LWRP because it is in.
Sure.
No concerns, he worked very hard, diligently. And he's on his way.
No, you're-
You good? As he do this. You're gonna recuse yourself, it's just the style.
Sean today.
We need your motion.
Make a motion for the application of Scott Caldarelli for 113 Rock Road to be a type 2 negative deck under C.
Second.
Full vote, please.
Steve Law,
Yes.
Dave Martin,
Yes.
Chris Schleider,
Yes.
James Nesbitt,
Yes.
Mark Bellerstein,
Yes.
Steve Pittner.
Make a motion to approve the application of Scott Caldarelli, 113 Ross Code, tax account number 006.120-02-014 for conservation border development permit.
Second. Full vote, please.
Steve Law,
Yes.
Dave Martin.
Yes.
Chris Schleider,
Yes.
James Nesbitt,
Yes.
Mark Bellerstein.
Yes.
Steve Pittner.
Start ripping her apart.
Awesome. Thank you guys. I appreciate your time today.
Come see you tomorrow.
I will.
Okay.
Take care, everybody.
Good luck.
Bill?
I don't have too much from the town, but I guess I wasn't aware that, of the calendar for the July 3rd meeting, and I was just wondering if it could you move that to the 5th?
I can make the calendar that comes from the town clerk's office. I mean, what do you guys feel about moving it?
As long as it's advertised. Okay.
I can be here. We got enough coming.
I can't be on the third.
You'll be here.
Yeah, I'll be here.
So we got, we can handle it.
I mean, I'll be here.
Chris could be here.
You got, Chris is on vacation.
No.
No, not for you.
Is it a holiday that day or?
No, Tuesday, the next day is 4th of July.
Yeah, but do they have a 4-day weekend or 3, what is it?
weekend.
No.
It's a popular week.
Yeah, I'm just thinking both for the residents and if it would behoove us to just move it to the 5th. I don't know, it's up to you guys, but
It'd be Wednesday.
I don't have the calendar of the town hall in
I
front
thought
of
it
me.
did too. They have calendars in front of them right here.
Most municipalities should take.
It's not just us, it's public hearing. Who do you know, if, people want to come and make a comment on something?
Right.
They're not gonna have the ability.
Well, this calendar's been published in some ways.
It's been, yeah, Patty Jo takes.
So you don't want to change it unless we absolutely have to.
The planning board has the legal authority under state law to set its own dates if it wants to. As a convenience, generally, town clerks will issue a calendar and sometimes the town board blesses it in January. And that's more for having facilities available. So the question really is if you wanted to bump this to the fifth, is there room with that? You might wanna find that out before you do that.
Let's leave it the way it is.
Okay.
The wheel rolls on. It's a big subject. Why don't we just forget, Joe?
If you, by the by, if you're not expecting a full calendar or a very small calendar, you can bump it off to August.
Well, that remains to be seen.
Okay. I merely offer options.
It's very good.
Can we push them all till
The
December?
3rd of July for the
Yes,
people that are
actually.
camping and stuff
Merry
like that, they're
Christmas.
not gonna come to a public hearing.
No, that's, most people, like I said, that's a floating holiday.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
ideal.
That's right.
It is.
So if we don't want anybody to come to the public hearing, I guess we can.
Let's see what else we get. It's established,
We only have one public hearing next Dan's Seville, right?
I just think if you're gonna move the date, now is the time to do it.
Yeah, it is
And
the
not,
time.
not wait until,
Yeah.
for 2 weeks, you know, if you're gonna do something.
Okay, all in favor of keeping it the same? All in favor of changing? Hey, board rules.
Okay, I'm gonna post it for,
As long as the rules, just double check that the rooms are available.
August.
Yeah.
And you have my blessing as what you.
You'll be
here. You'll be done. Just have to notify everybody, right?
yes.
Okay. Tonight, we had a real kind of a sticky feel on this. And I really think Phil is representing the board. We have the town consider taking a new hard look at what we have in some of the zoning regulations. Okay, and what we allow. And if something is allowed under a special use permit, it should be referred to the zoning board workshop for adoption of additions, deletions, and corrections to our zoning code.
Yeah, yeah.
Jay?
I don't have anything.
Okay.
Not a lot to report on outside this, what we all do, but stuff, work is moving along on the Lake Shore Sewer project. We're expecting to get the main lift station components any day now for the lift station on Walker Lake Ontario Road, and about 200 of the 300 pumps are already installed along the residences.
How come some of the grinders are really low, and then some people have had, I've heard hearsay, that they're way up out of the ground?
Elevation.
No, it hasn't, we haven't had any issues. We generally put them where folks want them. If they're raised, it may be because where the lateral is coming out of their house, it's shallow. So we have to tap that down at a certain elevation. But we're generally working with the property owners on where they want them and how they want them. I mean, we deal with every property owner for locating.
Because you had a complaint.
I did have a complaint that it was this far off the ground. I just told him to call.
Yeah, contact us.
Call you or Emilio.
Yeah, we're dealing, everything you could think of down in Hawaii.
CP, where's, what's the creek crossing at North Haven? Going into Hilton?
Yeah,
Fine lines?
yeah.
Shovel there from, and what's going on
We just completed that tap on Friday last week. So it's all tied in now and.
there? Yeah, 'cause that, Tracy would walk across that creek in a heartbeat, and they were in there for months.
Well, it's,
They had rock or didn't have a vault?
no, the way Pure Waters required us to tie into it, they wanted us to come around to the south of the trunk line, put our own manhole in and then go into their manhole.
Okay, so
So it was the
Into their
constraint,
manhole.
it's a constraint wouldn't allow us to make a direct connection. So we had to put our own manhole in and then tie into there. And because of the proximity to the creek, that manhole kind of had to be on the other side of the trunk. In Hammond and Walker Lake, Ontario, there was already a town manhole that connected to the trunk, so we just connected to it. That one worked out.
That was, that shovel set there for a long.
Well, right, they wanted to get what they could get done.
Yeah.
And then working with Pure Waters, you know.
The question was raised tonight by one of our board members about generators. Everybody's gonna wanna put a generator in again. And so those become items for conservation corridor each and every time. We've got, what, how many homes?
Well, there's, because of the location and nature of this, and the density, every control panel that we're putting in for each pump has an external generator connection. So you could use a relatively small portable generator and plug it in and not have to have a permanent standby generator for your entire house.
So those people know that they don't need a permit for a portable generator?
Well, I should hope so. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people, yeah.
I'm just saying, is that gonna be a question that we need to address?
Yeah, if it's a portable
Do you have
generator.
any of those questions?
No.
Do you still need to inspect them, Cheryl, to make sure that they're located in a safe location, even if it's a portable generator?
No, they just drag it out and plug it in and when they're
And hope
done.
and hope that they put it in a safe place?
Cheryl?
No, I have no comment, everything's going smoothly.
So, anybody else have a? Nope. In that case. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. That's a motion. Okay, everybody remember, we have a meeting sometime in July.
Yeah, I think it's the 12th.
Yeah, I think it's the 12th. Hey, we vacationing somewhere warm?
Oh, on the third?
Yeah, you're all.
Oh, oh, that, yes, I did get a bit of something. That was local.
Let's say I did this year.
Morning peak or
I know.
you can usually get it, and they want to tap in about the
Yep.
So most of the time.
No idea how to.
I'm kind of like 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Yes.